Good afternoon, Sly, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us. I know it's a busy time for you.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
So I wanted to start. You had posted an article or shared an article from the Globe and Mail on Facebook last week, and that's kind of what prompted me to contact you. In that article dated May 12th, it stated that at least 9 women and girls have been killed in domestic homicides in Canada during this pandemic. And that makes me incredibly sad and angry. The pandemic message is very clear: stay at home
Mhm.
unless
Yep.
you absolutely have to go out for essentials. And yet, for
Mhm.
many women and children, that's not the safest alternative.
Yep. No, for sure. I think that in terms of we've got the messages from the pandemic are about everybody hunkering down in their houses and not going out. But it doesn't, it's a difficult strategy for those who are experiencing abuse in their homes, whether it's women who are in, abusive relationships, or it's kids who don't have safe homes. So for both of those particular groups, this strategy of staying at home is complicated.
And it also identified that it's easy to sympathize when you see the physical signs of abuse, such as bruising and whatnot, but there's so many more layers to it, and that women that are trapped in their homes with their abusers, like, this is really difficult because often, like, power-based violence thrives in isolation. And I'm
Yeah, for
taking that
sure.
right from the article. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's a strategy that's been used since the beginning of time. So this just reinforces that women are feeling more trapped than ever. And also, I think the other complication is um, a shelter is not an easy place to pass a pandemic through, right? And so while everybody, it is a safe place, but we've had to alter our shelter services to keep everybody safe and to ensure physical distancing. So it's not, some of the strategies we had to employ is we had to put bar fridges in people's rooms so that they have some stuff because the kitchen has been closed to the public. So we're delivering meals to the doors and stuff. So women have had to self isolate in their rooms a lot. So it's not, even the shelter has lost that sense of community in terms of the women sharing meals together or groups or all of that kind of stuff. That stuff has had to stop, right? And so we've had to adjust to dealing with the physical distancing in order to maintain our operations, right? So even that has been greatly impacted. So it's difficult. I mean, I have said this to anybody who will listen. This pandemic has amplified certain issues. We need safe, affordable housing for those who are marginalized. And if I think this pandemic has really highlighted that, because anybody who's delivering shelter services is struggling to deliver the service the way we're used to delivering it, and so it's complicated.
Have you seen an increase in the number of calls?
Everybody asks me that, Jan, and I think it's a complicated question, because for women who are trapped and can't find a safe time to actually reach out, they can't call. Other women are using certain strategies of when to be able to reach out. So our numbers have remained consistent, although we've seen as of late an increase in those reaching out, wanting some sort of support uh, while they're at home.
And I suspect that would be my fear, that for every woman that is able to reach out, there's
Yes, there's
who knows
many
what
who
the
can't.
statistic is who
Yes,
can't. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I know I've read articles that the Kids Help Phone has received huge increase in calls, and so I think people do whatever they can to reach out, however they can. I know that some violence against women organizations have text ability, and texting is a little safer to do than to try and make a phone call, and so everybody's doing and employing whatever strategies they can to still be there for people. And, my message would be, if you can find a safe way to reach out, please do. And it's also, my other message would be to those to the public that know that perhaps they have somebody that is struggling, to keep reaching out to them in a safe way, and to make the conversations or have code words or have a signal or something that alerts the other party to say things are bad, you need to reach out and call the police or whatever. But I think we've all had to be creative. And I'm hesitant about saying too many strategies because I want to keep the strategies that women are employing confidential.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's really important. If you can reach out, please reach out. We're here. We've been here the entire time. And I think that we've done a pretty good job of, um, ensuring the services are there. But we've had to get really, really creative. And I was talking to several community partners, and I said, we are so outside of how we normally do business, so outside of our delivery model, but we've had to be flexible and adaptable at the same time ensuring that everyone is safe. So we're doing stuff we've probably never done before, but all in the name of trying to continue to provide the best possible services under these unprecedented circumstances.
Certainly like nothing we've ever seen before.
Nothing. And it's interesting, we were reviewing our pandemic plan because everybody has them, it was more of a theory, and then when we're looking at it, I think it wasn't a bad plan, but nothing. We could not have imagined this level of restrictions and impact. We could not have imagined this.
So I expect every one of your team has stepped up and are maybe even
Yeah,
doing things that they weren't normally doing,
yeah, for
everything they
sure.
can do to help support the
For
people.
sure. I've been incredibly moved by the commitment and dedication of our frontline staff at the shelter and all of our outreach staff who are trying to continue to provide all the outreach support services via Zoom or via telephone or whatever strategies that they have. Everybody has stepped up and it's been incredible. The administration team, the board, unfortunately, we've had to suspend our volunteer services during this time because it's just too much to manage. But I am grateful that everybody is safe so far. I'm grateful that we've been able to continue doing the work that we've done, and I am incredibly grateful to the community for their ongoing support. They reach out, they say, hey, we've got hand sanitizer here. How much do you need? And we're like, whatever you can give, we're happy to take. For the volunteers that have been making homemade masks, while, I don't know about you guys if you know, but the hunt for PPEs has been it's been incredibly difficult in those early weeks. And so we had volunteers who stepped up to make masks, and so it's just been, I've seen the best of our community.
Is there anything more we can do? I know you mentioned keeping tabs on your friends and neighbors.
Always reach out, keep tabs on people, even just reach out to people who are struggling, because I think it's important to acknowledge that the mental health impacts of COVID-19 remain to be seen, the long-term impacts of this. And I know that everybody I talk to is struggling. Everybody,
Right.
people are missing their family, friends, their connections, and we need our connections to feel sane, to feel healthy, to feel alive. And so when that's cut off from all of us, we all struggle. And then when you put other issues on top of that, it just magnifies the intensity of the hardship. So always check in on people, continue to reach out to people, continue making masks, continue reaching out to organizations who need supplies, because the PPEs are expensive, and we need an ongoing supply because we don't know really how long this is going to last,
No.
right? And so I don't want to be hunting for stuff. I'm trying to get it to ensure that we have enough supply to go the rest of the year, and to keep everybody healthy and safe. And of course, donations are this year, all the not-for-profits, all the organizations in town who do incredible work will be impacted drastically.
All right. If people want more information about Guelph-Wellington Women in Crisis and how they can help, where can they get the information?
they can always call our crisis line, check in on our social media channels, on our website. We're trying to post supportive stuff every day, but yeah, through any of our channels, reach out. All the offices, their phones are being monitored every day and stuff, and so and you know, we're all rotating in the office. We're still closed to the public until the emergency measures have been lifted, and then we'll gradually look at reopening only when we've got everything in place to do so in a safe way. So yeah, just keep reaching out to us through all of our channels. We're happy to hear from you, and God knows I am grateful for the support in this community.
Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. And thank you especially to you and your team for the really important and supportive work that you're doing in our community. I wish all of you great safety, health, continued success with your
Yes.
work.
Thank you so much, Jan. Thank you. And you guys stay safe and healthy as well. And I look forward to the day when I actually can do an interview with you face to face.
Yes. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.